I don't know. What are you in the mood to do? After all that food, I don't really want to do anything, to be honest. I mean, no. We don't really have to do anything. You want to just talk? Yeah, I don't mind sitting around and talking for a bit. What do you have in mind? Like a 21 questions kind of thing? No, I think that'd be fun. I mean, we've been going out for a while, but I just feel like there's so much that we haven't really talked about yet. I think it'd be fun to learn what makes you tick. Mm-hmm. Sure, I can start. Let me think. All right. I'll start off easy. What's your favorite color? Yeah, I'm serious. Interesting. It just is. Well, it's just, it wasn't what I was expecting. It's not that I had something in mind, it's just more, hmm. It wouldn't have been my first thought. Now that you say it, though, like, yeah, yeah, I can see that. So, why is it that that's your favorite color? Well, I ask because the few times that I've actually had this conversation with someone, there's always been some reason why these colors stick out to people. Like, I know someone that's in love with light blue specifically. Like a sky blue, baby blue. I think there was a cornflower blue phase too at one point. Yeah, they're really nice shades. They'd buy clothes, pottery, paintings. They painted the outside of their house and the inside these shades too. Like when I say that they're in love with it, I am not kidding. All this started because as a kid, they were really interested in flying and planes. So they would be looking up at the sky whenever it was nice and clear, watch planes fly out of the airport as much as they could, um, look at photos and paintings of flight, stuff like that. To them, blue represented freedom. And it turned into a color that whenever they looked at it, they got really happy. Yeah, it's neat. So, what about you? Was it something similar where you were really into something and it manifested as your favorite color? Hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Interesting. See? This is why I like asking questions like this. It's pretty amazing what you can find out about someone through really simple questions. Mine. I'd have to say green. Mm-hmm. All shades of green. To me, though, nothing beats an emerald green. That's why the only accessory I really wear is this ring. Um, they're really small and don't really stand out, but you can see there's a couple emeralds here. Okay, I guess in this lighting they're a little hard to see. I'll have to show you again when it's light out and you can see the light bounce off them. No, the emeralds themselves don't really have any significance. They're just something I always found really pretty. I do actually. When I was a kid, I was taken into a jewelry store with my mom. I was pretty little and we were kind of just, out on errands. She wanted to pick something up. And while she was chatting with the person behind the counter, I was kind of just looking around at stuff on display. There was this ring there that had a giant cut emerald on it. Maybe it was because there weren't any other large cuts near it and it was just a sea of silver and gold. But it really stood out to me and it's been on my mind ever since. I don't know about wearing anything like that myself. It was pretty big. And if I wear anything, I like them to be, on the smaller side so they don't get in the way of anything. But I think for the right person, it would look absolutely stunning on them. You ever been given a ring like that? That's too bad. I think it'd look really nice on you. Oh, I have no idea. Uh, if I had to guess, with the size of the cut and the place we were in, it was probably a minimum of 1,000. So if someone got something like that for you, you just wouldn't accept it because of the price. How come? Hmm. What if the person giving it to you had more than enough money to spend on something like that and thought you deserved it? Would you still feel guilty about it? I see. No, I just think that's kind of interesting. Well, it's just, I'm not a big gift giver. I've always been really bad at it. And most of the people I know this, and they never really expect anything. For birthdays, right? I'll either ask the person directly what they want or ask some of their friends for ideas. So, and maybe this is just to compensate for my lack of gift giving skills. I try to get them something that's both, you know, meaningful and nice, even if it ends up costing a lot more money. Uh, well, let's take that giant ring as an example. Let's say, you know, purely hypothetically, that you were into that type of ring, not necessarily something that large, but that style of ring where it's a fairly simple band with a cut gemstone. If there were two options and one was larger than the other, but not excessively large, I would be more inclined to buy that one over the small one, even if the cost difference was significant. Well, to me, choosing the cheaper option of the two would be equal to me saying that I don't think you're worth the more expensive option, even though I had the means to pay for it. Which isn't true. If I'm buying a gift for someone, especially someone I'm in a relationship with, then I want to show that appreciation in everything I do. I don't think it puts pressure on people, no. Why would someone feel pressure about getting something expensive? Hmm, maybe. It would really depend on the person, though, right? I mean, I guess this is kind of an assumption on my part, but I feel like there's a mutual understanding between people that give each other gifts, where you're getting each other something that you feel fits the most, even if it's something cheap, because the cheap thing carries more meaning. There's no pressure trying to match the price, but to match the importance. And to be clear, all this really only applies to people I'm in a relationship with. I'm not out here dropping thousands of dollars on everyone's birthday. I've had one partner make it clear she didn't like it. Um, it was her birthday. I went out and bought her this dress she showed me that she really liked, I don't know, a month before, and it cost like $600. I got it for her, and when she opened it, she wasn't angry, but she clearly wasn't that happy about it. She liked it. She kept it. She would wear it out on dates, but there was this part of her that I think really hated getting something that expensive. Nope, that was the only time. Hmm. Well, I guess I wouldn't really know if others felt bad about it or not unless I asked them directly. And even then, they may not be entirely truthful about it. Because you're right. Even if there weren't any obvious signs, there's still the possibility that it happened and they were hiding it. No, I think you're right about this. Because if someone feels like they gave me a worse gift, either in return or later, or, even if it's not a competition, they just don't like getting something so expensive, that outcome's worse than if I bought something with the same amount of meaning, but half the price, and the other person's saying that I don't appreciate them enough because I wasn't willing to spend more on them. You're right. I also don't want people to think I'm just trying to buy them off. You really don't hold back when you think someone is wrong, huh? No, I'm not complaining at all. I mean, if you genuinely believe like I'm acting spoiled, elitist, or materialistic, um, I would want you to say something about it. Especially if it's something that you really don't agree with. Because I don't try to sound what's the word I'm looking for? That. I don't try to sound like that. Um, Sometimes it just happens. I swear it's not me or intentional. I've just been around those types for so long that I think a lot of the way that they talk rubs off. Now, I'm usually pretty good at keeping myself in check, but clearly it doesn't always work. I really like that you're willing to scold me. I do. Yeah, I'm serious. I do. Because to me, it says that you know what you believe in and value being honest with me. Well, what I mean is, whether we like it or not, we always try to word things in a way that make people like us. We usually want people to like us, especially on dates. So sometimes we're a little too careful with our words, and instead of saying what we actually feel, we say something a little different. Hmm, not a lie necessarily, or at least not always. Let's say, for example, you and I went to go see a movie, right? And you clearly liked the movie more than I did. I didn't hate it or anything. I thought there were some really good parts, but afterwards, when we're talking about it, you really liked a part that I didn't. Most people, because they don't want to ruin the vibe of the date, would either try to move the discussion to something that they mutually liked and avoid talking about parts they didn't, or would very carefully say that they didn't like it as much as some other parts while trying to move on so there isn't some argument. Usually, you and I just, kind of like the same things more or less. So situations like that haven't really come up. But tonight, you didn't hesitate to say that maybe I was wrong. I like that. What would I do? Why, in the movie scenario? To be honest, if we were talking about something I didn't like, then I'd be upfront about it. Not in like a, I think you're wrong for liking it and here's why kind of way. Like, I'm not going to try and convince you to not like it or, I don't know, start some stupid argument over it. But I wouldn't want to lie and say that I liked it just because you did. Because I value honesty too much. I firmly believe that if you love someone, you should just be honest. Even if that means that you disagree and might upset them. I think honesty is a very attractive quality in other people, and by being honest myself, I want to attract people that feel the same way. I'm glad you agree. Well, right now I find you very attractive. I'm not going to get my feelings hurt because you told me what you thought. Maybe I just like being scolded sometimes. You know, I'm really glad you came over tonight. Yeah, it's getting late, unfortunately. Shame, too, because I feel like I've learned more about you in the last several minutes than I have on any other date so far. You want to stay the night? You sure? Got plenty of room here. Shame. I know a really good breakfast place near here that I'd love to take you to. Another time, then. I promise it'll be worth it. So, when will I get to see you again? What can I say? I'm hooked. Maybe I'm just a glutton for punishment. At least let me walk you down. Oh, I got no doubt you can handle yourself. Still want to see you back safely, though. What can I say? It's just how I was raised. Text me when you get back, too. I really wasn't kidding. Right now, when I look into your eyes, I feel like I could spend every second of the day looking at you and never get bored. Well, hey, I'll I'll call you tomorrow. and we can plan another date. Whenever you want. My schedule is generally pretty flexible. All right. I'll talk to you tomorrow then. You sure you don't want to stay the night? Okay. Since that's the case, good night. I hope you sleep well when you get back.